Yo, what is up? This is your boy DatBoyGuru back with a new video, and we are back again with Frontlines, and the topic is what is wrong with Frontlines. Well, everyone loved Frontlines in 2018 but in 2019 not so. The kind of responses that I'm getting right now is like meh, not so great. So what's changed? What's different in 2019? Well, firstly, there are a lot of better prizes. More gaming is given out, and you get a couple of free tanks, a premium tier 8 and a yet unnamed tier 9 tank destroyer, something like that. But make no mistake, this isn't free. You're still gonna have to work for it, and how do you work for it is you're going to invest your time, a lot of it. Here's a look at the graph that I want to share with you. This is the difference between the amount of points you need to make in 2018 in the first edition versus the amount of points you need to make right now. It is 30+% more for you to level up to 30, rank 30. So it's like crazy. In the last iteration, you already had to do a lot of work to get there, but now you have to do 30+% more work to get there. So it's not free. It is a grindy uphill climb just to get some free tank that most of you probably won't even care for or don't even need. This this frontline mode right now is more like the 130 PM grind. It's more like the EBR grind. It's if you ask me personally, I think it's meant to frustrate you into opening your wallet just to end the misery. Now, in episode 1 last month, the first episode of the second iteration of Frontlines, many in the community brought this problem up. A lot of people were looking forward to the Frontlines mode, you know. Everyone was excited about it. Everyone's talking about it for almost a year. People were like, oh, when's Frontline coming back? When's Frontline coming back? And when it comes back, it became into this grindy chore. But the prizes still, you know, made it kind of bearable. People were like, well, it's bad, but it's not as bad as it could have been. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. It's still bearable. But the second month, episode 2, however, is something new. It's totally different altogether because the introduction of the French wheel tanks, the French zoomies, I'd like to call them, they start to dominate the landscape, zooming around, creating havoc, ending the game early, and it's completely changed the meta of the game. It's basically a totally different game. You've got to approach it differently. You've got to use different lineups of tanks. You've got to make different decisions. You know, in episode 1, I made a video about how to rank general ASAP, and I featured the Scorpion G, and I even recommended a Object 252U or a Defender. And in episode 2, it's different now. It's not the same way. You can't expect to use a Scorpion G or a Defender 252U and expect it to be as good as it was. I mean, it's not to say you can't use these tanks, but your percentage is going to drop a little bit. The performance level is not going to be up there, and I'll explain it to you in a second. The Defender is also has a lot of disadvantages because of the slow reload, slow turret traverse, slow hull traverse. Basically anything that is slow is at a disadvantage right now because of the French zoomies. They can get behind you, they can circle jerk you, and you cannot respond effectively. They can sneak up behind you and just HE your ass, and you're gonna feel really frustrated. I mean, I don't mind losing. I don't mind being taken out by any kind of tank, to be honest with you. But it's really frustrating when you can't do anything about it. You know that feeling? It's like RT all over again. You know how RT is, right? They can shoot you, but you can't respond. You can't shoot them back. That feeling, like helpless feeling, you can't do anything about your situation. And this is what the French zoomies are doing to this game right now. They're adding another dimension of that feeling that artillery was giving you. The feeling that you can't do anything about it when they circle jerk you, when they sneak up behind you, when they shoot you in the ass with HE. There's nothing you can do about it. So if you're in a Scorpion G or in a Defender, there's really not much you can do once you've got one of those EBRs or Link 6x6 behind you. There's really not much you can do because they're just gonna farm you for free. That was the first problem, the French zoomies. The second issue I have right now, artillery. Artillery has always been a problem, even with random battles. It's so frustrating that they get to shoot you and you don't get to shoot them back. You cannot do anything about it. You just gotta sit there and take it up the butt, basically. Now, many people are frustrated by the new meta. And the new meta, you're being frustrated by these French tanks zooming around, finishing the game early. People are frustrated and they're too lazy to find solutions around it, or they're not talented enough, or they just don't give a fuck anymore. They just want to get this levels over and done with, get rank up as quick as possible or whatever. It's like, to overcome all these situations with the new French tanks, you need to figure out a way to change your lineup, pick different tanks, modify your play style. Instead of attacking all the time, you need to think about other ways, different positions. So when people get fed up of trying to figure out new ways how to play this game, how to maximize their efficiency, they just get fed up and they end up playing RT. They just pick RT and shoot at the bases, which gets you the same amount of points as you did if you were in a normal tank. That is why you see a lot of people queuing up in artillery. If you queue up in Frontlines, you can see for yourself the amount of artillery players. They're sometimes 4 times more than other regular tanks, because people figured out that, hey, why do I need to work hard in this game? I can just pick artillery, shoot from a distance, shoot them when they're in the base, capping, and I'll be able to rank up to general easy. People figured out how to get the same ranking progression as a normal tank. Why not shoot from safety, right? It makes sense. It's the same progression. You get the same amount of points whether you're in a Defender or a Centurion as you are in an RT. So what's the big deal? I might as well be in an RT. So people figured this out, and that's why they're queuing up in the RT and all this RT. And you already have so many RT. Everybody has got RT strikes and air strikes. And on top of that, we got to deal with artillery, the Lorraine 155, the M4043. You're already bombarded by all these artillery and airstrikes, consumables, and against, and you can't shoot back. So that's the problem. A lot of people are queuing up in artillery because that's the easy way out. They don't want to find solution. They don't want to find a way to go around and rank up a different way. Now the third problem with this is, it goes back to the French zoomies and the grindy nature of this season 2, episode 2. Because since the introduction of the length of the grind, where you need to level up to level 30, and the amount of points you need to get has, is 1/3 more than what it used to be, and you need to do it like over 10 weeks. And this made the length, and the way the French light tanks, the French wheel tanks have shortened the length of the game. And this means instead of the 25-30 minutes that you used to get in a game, you now have 15-20 minute games. Basically, with the French wheel tanks, they just push the middle lane, go right to the end and kill the turrets and whatever. This game is shortened down to 15-20 minutes instead of like the regular 25-minute average that you get. And for efficiency's sake, a lot of players have found it more efficient to rank just up to major and then end the game. They don't even bother going up to general because it's going to cost you another 5 minutes. It's better for you to just rank general, quickly end the game, jump into another game, and try to make major again. They don't even bother trying to make general anymore. They end the game quickly. As long as they're somewhere in the major region, they're good to go. They're going to rank up, and this is what is like killing the game, because everybody is just trying to finish up the game ranking major and move on to the next game, because their end goal now is just some reward tank at the end of the season, which I don't know, some way enlarges their penis or something. I don't know. Now I bet you any money that participation levels have gone down in this episode 2, season 2. I am sure it's gone down, because I've heard nothing but complaints and people moaning about this mode right now. A lot of people are frustrated about the grind. And to be honest with you, no one cares about these prizes. Not the people I know anyway. I mean, it's nice for the new players to get a free tank or whatever, but it's not to say like you're going to get a defender or you're not going to get like a T44-100. It's just a normal tank, an STA2, a WZ111. They're not even OP tanks. They're not even that powerful tanks. They're not even that great of a tank. They're okay tanks, but it's nothing you should fuss over, and it's not a big deal, you know what I mean? I mean, the numbers are very low. Some people do care about the free tanks and the prizes. And what I was saying about the meta changing, and here's an example of it. I'm actually switching into a Caernarvon tier 8 British heavy tank. And I actually just bought this tank. Previously, I free XP'd all the way to the Centurion Centurion Action 10 to get the FV2 and 5B, and I free XP this tank. But I actually bought this tank for this episode 2 just for this sole purpose, because in the new meta, if you are in a heavy tank without DPM, you are in trouble. You're gonna get circle jerked by these Link 6x6 or EBR FL10s or something, or Progettos and T44-100s with fast reload times. You need something with fast reload gun, and this is the answer. I've seen a lot of streamers using this as well, so I was like, might as well give it a try. And it turns out that it works really well because it has some kind of armor and helps, and the reload time of about 5 seconds is really useful for this mode. So this is one of the ways I'm adapting. I'm changing the lineups that I am using. So now back to what I was talking about. A lot of people are fed up of this mode and refuse to play this mode right now. I know a lot of people have just walked away from Frontlines. Now, not everybody walking away, of course. A lot of people still like this mode and appreciate this mode. But this mode has become like an uphill climb, a chore, some kind of second job that you need to do. And that's the feeling that a lot of people are getting. And I think that's what's turning them off. Now, because it is so competitive and you have so little time to progress because of the shortened time frame that this game is taking right now, you also have to shoot a lot of premium shells, a lot of APC premium shells, which means you're earning less credits as well. Why you have to shoot APCR? Because you need to make your shots count, because you are getting less time to rank up to general. You're getting less time to progress, so you need to rank up as quickly as possible before the game ends. So how do you do that? You need to shoot APCR so that you make sure that more of your shots are going to count when you are shooting. You know what I mean? You can't just shoot normal AP shells and some hit, some don't hit. Who cares? you can make it up later and take your time to rank up to general. In this mode right now, in the current meta, in the current situation, there is hardly time for you to do anything. A lot of people are picking French wheeled tanks just to end the game up quickly, and before you can even reach general, the amount of games that I have in major rank with only one shot to rank to general, I can't even count. There are so many times. It is so frustrating. And this game is the same thing. I end up being major, top in my team, and in fact nobody made it to general. I'm the only major in the game, and that was the best. I mean, that's the best I can do. Is that all I got? I mean, this game mode is becoming so frustrating. And it's not to say I don't make general all the time. I do make general sometimes, but not as often as I used to. Credit income is down because I'm spending more APCR shells and a lot of French Sumis and artilleries. I'm just going on and on. I'll catch you on the next video on how to make general in episode 2. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to my rant. Bye bye.